Ladies and gentlemen, today I am very excited to be bringing you guys ranking zombie outbreak types, or I guess just ranking zombie viruses or apocalypses in general, from the deadliest to the least deadliest. Now, we have tiers on the left, as you can see, going from like the easiest to you're screwed if this happens, or just I haven't seen it or have no info. Because I love zombies, but I will admit, I haven't seen a lot of zombie movies. There's tons out there. I've only seen a good few though. But out of all of these, I'm pretty confident with ranking like 90% of them. So, let's get into it, shall we? Starting off with the Romero zombies. Now, this is where it all began, people. 1976, I believe? Night of the Living Dead by the late and great George A. Romero. Rest in peace. What do I think of this outbreak specifically? Come on, this is light work. This isn't easy. How this ever became a virus, like a big outbreak, I'll never understand. These guys can be taken down by removing the head or destroying the brain. They're very slow, like ridiculously slow to take down. And, you know, with all the armed forces in America and everything, the armed guards, whatever, you think they would have a really easy time taking down the ghouls, but no, they end up overrunning everything, as you see in Dawn and Day of the Dead, and I think Land of the Dead too. But I've only seen the first, like, 2 or 3 films in this. But for the Romero zombies, this should have been stopped very easily. 100% should have been stopped very easily. Now we have the zombies from Minecraft. I did not add these in. This wouldn't be my choice. These were on here with the preset, basically. Now, what do I think of the zombies from Minecraft? I'd say they're also pretty easy. The problem with the I guess, is that they're not really like an epidemic or anything. Sure, they can affect villagers, but not the player. They're kind of hard to rank, so I guess I'll just put them in easy. Up next, we have the living pharmacist from Phineas and Ferb. Now, this is a fun addition because I remember seeing this episode. I'm not a big fan of Phineas and Ferb. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of smack in the middle. But I did see this episode. And I know that it could be kind of challenging, I'll be honest. Actually, you know, I'm going to put it in hard. You might disagree, but I'll explain. The whole plot, if I can remember, was, I believe it was Doofenshmirtz messing with some kind of machine that then turns all of the tri-state area into copies of him. And the only way you could avoid being infected is by wearing leather, thanks to Phineas and Ferb's machine. And they only cured this stuff by chance, really. If Phineas and Ferb wasn't around, I mean, they wouldn't be able to cure anything. Granted, of course, this is a kid's show, so they wouldn't be, like, blowing the heads off of Doof or anything like that. But I think, genuinely, if it wasn't for the ingenuity of Phineas and Ferb, this could have ended badly. So I'm going to put this in hard. Up next, we have 7 Days to Die. The virus in Navasgain or Navesgain, Arizona. That's right, it's in Arizona. This is a bit tricky. On one hand, the 7 Days to Die virus, I think it's only in one area, maybe in the United States. I'm not sure if it's gone global. On top of that, you've got stuff like zombie dogs, zombie vultures, zombie bears, and Grace, the mutated zombie pig. But at the same time, you've got cures for the virus and everything. You've got antibiotics which do it. You've got honey that does it. It's kind of hard to place between these two, but I think in general, I'm going to have to pop it in medium. Up next, we have Call of Duty, and you're f***ed. There's no way around it. It involves time travel, mysterious space devices, space aliens, different dimensions. It's a mess. I imagine a lot of people might not even include Call of Duty, to be honest, because of how weird it is, but I'm including it, and I'm glad this list included it too. So yes, this is going to be in your f***ed. If this virus happens, just pray. Is it even a virus? I don't even know what it is. It's Element 115. It's pretty mental. Up next, we have the Walkers from The Walking Dead. The wildfire virus, if you're wondering. Now, these guys could be in the same tier as the Romero zombies, but I'm going to bump it up to medium. There's a reason why. The Romero virus is kind of similar to the Walkers, but the problem is, the wildfire virus, infects every single living person. So, if you die by any means other than removing the head or destroying the brain, well, actually just destroying the brain, you come back as a walker. So the spreadness, like the infectiousness of the virus, is exacerbated so much because there's a bunch of people who self-terminate themselves, they all come back as walkers, and it spreads like mental. That sounds scary for sure, but you also have to keep in mind that the humans were eventually able to combat the walkers, and the show eventually just becomes about dealing with humans as the biggest threat rather than the walkers. So yeah, I can definitely see this being here, but I think 7 Days to Die is a little worse than the wildfire virus, personally. Up next, we have the zombies from Zombieland. Now, I know this is supposed to be a comedy, but my god, they're freaking difficult, honestly. I'm gonna put it, I might put it even in insane, to be honest, hard or insane. Now, I actually haven't watched Zombieland, but I know an awful lot about it. I know there's a bunch of zombies, like zombie types and everything. I know the zombies can run. I know there are some stupid zombies, but you've got Tallahassee and a bunch of others who survive. And then, of course, you've got Bill Murray, who can use, like, makeup and everything to hide amongst the zombies. So they can very easily be fooled. So I think, overall, I might have to put Zombieland at the top of hard tier. It's kind of hard to rank it a little because, you know, it's a comedy. It's not really supposed to be that serious, but it did go global and it did take over the world. So I guess you've got that. I might end up changing these around. Up next, we have Wreck. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I actually added Wreck on here myself. This was not originally part of this tier list, but I had to include it. Wreck is horrifying. It is very scary. It's a religious type zombie virus, but my god, it is difficult. The zombies can run, they can scream, they can surprise you. But then again, in the first Wreck, which is this picture here, it's quite a contained situation. It's only in like an apartment complex, if I'm remembering correctly. And I believe with some religious counterbalance, you can actually deal with the zombies. So it's kind of hard to say, honestly, because it happens in isolated incidents and there are like ways to combat the virus. Or is it even a virus? I'm not sure. I'm going to put it in hard because I don't think it's quite insane. Right, up next we have a fun one. The zombies from Gravity Falls. I'm very happy they included this. Now, I'm going to put these in easy. Because, sure, the way Dipper, Mabel, and Grunkle Stan defeat them is by, like, singing a song together, a karaoke song, but they should go down like regular zombies do. And there's only a small amount of them. It's a very contained situation. But it could get out of hand, but they're just like regular zombies. They don't have advanced intelligence, but, actually, I might put them ahead of the Romero zombies because these guys can climb. The Romero zombies can't climb. They don't have that level of dexterity. So I'm going to put the undead from Gravity Falls in easy. They can be dealt with relatively easily, and they're like regular zombies, and it's a very contained situation. So that's why I'm putting them in easy. Up next, we have the zombies from Days Gone. Now, this is the first that I haven't seen or have no info on. I don't know a thing about Days Gone. I heard from Wow Such Gaming's video, which actually inspired this one, that the zombies in Days Gone are pretty deadly, but I can't say for sure because I just haven't seen it. So I'm sorry about that. Up next, we have the zombies from High School of the Dead. Alright, you know what? I'm going to put these in medium. Now, High School of the Dead is just a whole can of worms. You're telling me a bunch of high school students can run around in fucking maid outfits and survive the zombies? Now, the zombies in High School of the Dead are pretty deadly, but they're like regular zombies, and a ragtag group of teenagers can take them down. But on the other hand, I can see why this would be a little easier, a little harder to deal with than the Romero zombies. Because the zombies from High School of the Dead, if memory serves me correctly, they infect a little quicker, and they're just faster in general, so that's why I put High School of the Dead in medium tier. Up next, we have the zombies from Disney? I've never heard of this, so that's just going in no info. I'm sorry, I can't rank this one. Up next, we have the Rage Virus from 28 Days Later. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, but Dark, it's not a zombie, they're infected, quote-unquote. Well, I'm including this. I'm including stuff that's adjacent to zombies. That's why you see Left 4 Dead down here is also in the tier list. Now, 28 Days Later, I actually rescind my previous statement. This is going in insane. The reason why this is going insane is because the zombies can evolve and grow, and apparently can procreate in 28 years later. Still haven't seen it. I'm going to see it soon, though. I plan to watch it. But you guys know the deal with the Rage Virus. Insanely difficult to deal with, because the zombies can run, or the infected can run. They can infect you so easily. One drop of blood and saliva, you're done for. They can run, they can climb, apparently they can hold in packs now. They're all sorts of crazy, honestly. You never want to deal with a Rage Virus. If 28 years later didn't come out, these guys would have probably been bumped down to maybe the top of hard tier, because eventually they'll starve to death like they did at the end of 28 Days Later. But because they learn to evolve, they're going an insane tier at the top. I might change the rankings around, but so far, you don't want to be dealing with a Rage Virus. No way, no how. Up next, we have Marvel Zombies. You're f***ed. What can I say? You're f***ed. Now, which one is worse, Call of Duty Zombies or Marvel Zombies? I'm going with Marvel Zombies, personally, because Call of Duty involves a bunch of Dimension stuff as well, but Marvel Zombies involve superpower zombies that can retain their intelligence, that can use all of their powers, that can travel across dimensions and solar systems and across the multiverse. There is no stopping Marvel Zombies. The only reason why Marvel Zombies came to a close The original one, by the way, not like any redos of Marvel Zombies. This is the classic original one by Robert Kirkman. The only reason why this failed is because the zombies went so long without eating that they stopped being hungry. But in terms of them wiping out the earth, they did it in the click of fingers, so you are not surviving the Marvel Zombies, mate. They come, you're screwed. Up next, we have the zombies from Dead Rising. Haven't played the games, but I know quite a bit about it. And I'm going to bump this to the top of medium difficulty. Now, from what I know, there actually is a cure for the zombies in Dead Rising. I think it's called Zombrex, I'm pretty sure. But I know that they're spread through wasps, like contaminated wasps. But at the same time, they're not really horribly deadly either. And they go down in traditional means, but they can actually go down with bodily harm, so you don't have to remove the head or destroy the brain to kill them. So that's why they're in top of medium tier. I need to play the Dead Rising series. If you want to see me play it, let me know and I will. Next we have World War Z. I again rescind my previous statement. This is going in insane tier as well. World War Z is madness to deal with. Even though eventually they did find a cure for it, but the fact of how quickly it spread, how fast you turn, and the fact they're able to climb walls and stuff like that, it's pretty mad to say the least. So World War Z has to be in insane tier. There's no way it's not. Up next we have SCP-008. I have not heard of this one. I don't know the SCP Foundation for shit. I'll be completely honest with you guys. So I'm just gonna have to put this in haven't seen. So this could be the deadliest thing in the world. I just don't know about it. I'm sorry. Up next, we have Dead Island. Now, this is where it gets good. I'm putting Dead Island in hard tier, because in Dead Island, there's mutant zombies. You've got the floater, you've got the unaliver, I can't say the word anymore, you know what I mean. You've got Ram, you've got, like, the giant zombies and everything. But in terms of a traditional virus, it's kind of similar, but it's the special zombies that make this, make the difference here. So it's the special zombies that make me put Dead Island in hard tier. But only at the bottom of hard tier though, because it can be taken down by traditional means. Up next we have Shaun of the Dead. Why did this ever become a problem? I mean, the whole film gets done up in under 24 hours. The zombies appear, they're slow as shit, and the only reason that the zombies ever made it far is because they needed a movie. This should not have become a pandemic or an outbreak, not even close. This has got to be the easiest virus to ever survive, in my opinion. Shaun of the Dead, goated film, but the zombies aren't doing shit. Anybody can beat these guys. Next we have Left 4 Dead. Now, this is where it gets good. This goes into your f***s. For one simple reason. The green flu is busted. The green flu is one of the deadliest viruses ever. It changes constantly. Sometimes it's airborne, sometimes it's not. It turns you into a rage-induced person, kind of like how the rage virus does. They're special infected like the boomer, the tank, the spitter, the jockey, and so on. They can spread the virus more, they can deal so much damage. And don't even get me started on stuff like the tank or the witch. In about 3 weeks, all of the United States fell. All it took was 3 weeks. And the only reason our survivors are alive is because they're called carriers, where they have the infection in them, but they're immune to it. So say they escaped and went to another country that was free of the green flu. They'll just infect other people because they carry the virus within them. So you're f***ed basically. If Left 4 Dead ever happens and the green flu ever exists, we just need to say our prayers, everybody, because we are not beating the green flu. No way, no how. Up next, we have the Adventure Time Candy Zombies. This is a fun one I thought about. Now, first off, the first outbreak in the first episode, Slumber Party Panic, nothing really happened in it. But specifically from Bad to Worse, the episode, they can be pretty deadly. And you know what? I'm going to put these guys in hard. I might actually put them ahead of Dead Island. Actually, no, I'm going to put them behind Dead Island, sorry. The thing is with the Adventure Time zombies is, they only cured this by pure luck, because Princess Bubblegum's rat knew how to cure the virus. If they didn't have that happen, everybody in OO would have been screwed. Finn tried to make cures with characters like Lumpy Space Princess and so on, but all they did was just buff the zombies by giving them wings and super strength. So imagine if those zombies got out and passed on that infection. All of OO would have been screwed. So that's why I'm going to put the Adventure Time zombies in hard tier, because it's pretty freaking difficult, I can't lie. Up next we have the Nox virus from Project Zomboid. You're f***ed, what can I say? That is so difficult, honestly. From what Lays has told me, the Nox virus in Project Zomboid killed like 99% of the world. The only reason why you're alive in Project Zomboid is because you're in the 1% of people who aren't infected by the Nox virus. So already by that point, if the whole world can get wiped out in the click of fingers, this is already in your f***. Not to mention, you know, it's the most realistic zombie survival thing out there. The zombies can take you down easily, one bite and you're done for, you have to deal with infections and sickness, you have to manage yourself. Project Zomboid's Nox virus would screw the world if it existed. So that's why it's in your f***s. Up next we have the Flood, I think, from Halo. I think that's what they're called, but they're going in haven't seen or little info. I don't really play much of Halo at all, so I can't rank them, I'm sorry. Up next we have Train to Busan. Insane in the membrane, I'll say that. Train to Busan zombies are ridiculous. They can run fast, you turn in like 15 seconds, they're crazy, they have insane durability unless you remove the head or destroy the brain. You would be screwed if the Train to Busan virus went out globally and everything. So I really shouldn't have to justify it by saying Train to Busan is insane. It's around the same tier as the Rage virus. Up next we have the Haran virus from Dying Light. Now I'm also going to put this, actually I might put this at the top of hard. Or maybe not, I haven't played the Beast yet. I've played Dying Light 1 and 2, but I haven't played the Beast quite yet. Actually, no, I'm going to bump it to the top of Insane tier. Now, Dying Light is ridiculous as well, because the zombies have the capability to evolve and change. I mean, if you go against a volatile, you might as well just kiss your ass goodbye. You're not beating those things. Unless you have UV Light. UV Light is the biggest kryptonite to the zombies in Dying Light. But the fact that there's mutant zombies, different kinds, they have different levels of infectiousness, they're just ridiculous. And the fact that the volatiles can form hives and stuff, not to mention the night runners. Well, actually, I meant the night hunter, sorry. I'm doing this all in one take, by the way, so if I get errors, I'm just going to have to edit them out. I'm having fun, what can I say? So yeah, the Haran virus is ridiculous. Thank God, at least for only the first game, it was contained to only Haran. But after it escaped, yeah, things aren't looking too good. Up next is one of my favorite additions, the Joy virus from The Amazing World of Gumball. Now, this is crazy, because it's actually a lot more difficult than you may think. I don't think it's insane. And obviously, you know, Gumball is a kid's show, but I'm going to put this in hard, actually. I'm going to put this around the same level as the Living Pharmacist. The way you cure the Joy virus is by playing Moonlight Sonata. That's what Miss Simeon did to stop the zombies. Well, I guess the infected at this point, because he actually cured Principal Brown in the episode. But if you didn't know to play the music, these guys will infect you no problem, and they'll take you down. And this infects very quickly as well. I mean, you've seen the clips if you haven't watched the episode in The Amazing World of Gumball. It can affect everything, and with the world of The Amazing World of Gumball, you've got balloons that can fly quickly, you can have infected T-Rexes, it's crazy. The Joy virus is not to be underestimated. That's pretty deadly. Up next we have Resident Evil. I know it's probably in your f***s, but I haven't really played the zombie version of Resident Evil. I've only ever played 7 and 8, so I really can't say for sure between these. So, I'm gonna let you guys in the comments decide. I'm gonna put this in haven't seen or little info, but you guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments, where would you put Resident Evil? Would it be your f***s, insane, hard? Which one would it be? You'll have to let me know. Up next we have Zom 100. This is a pretty cool anime that I've seen a little bit of. Now, I'm gonna put this in medium, but I think I might put it ahead of... Actually, I'm going to put the Wildfire virus ahead of that. So I'm going to put it around the same level as High School of the Dead. Because I know it's kind of like a traditional zombie virus and everything. I'm pretty sure animals and that can be infected too. But it's pretty traditional, and I don't think there's too many notable things to discuss here. It's a guy screwing around trying to complete his bucket list, what can I say? So Zom 100 is in medium. Up next we have Dead Snow. Now, Dead Snow I'm going to put at the top of easy. For one particular reason. Dead Snow is an extremely isolated event from what I can remember. This doesn't spread or go global or anything. Up next we have The Last of Us. I'm extremely tempted to put your f***ed, but people have been able to survive The Last of Us, so I'm going to put this at the very top of insane, because people were eventually able to band together and make communities to fight the cordyceps, but those first couple years is insane. So yeah, this goes at the very top of insane. The Last of Us is terrifying. And the fact that the cordyceps are real, and they're one hop and skip away from infecting humans, we need to keep an eye on these guys for sure. Now, I don't even need to say anything about Return of the Living Dead. I'm going to put it in the third place, because Call of Duty Zombies and Marvel Zombies, I think, are slightly worse. But Return of the Living Dead, the first film at the very least, you're not winning. The zombies don't die, removing the head does nothing, destroying the brain does nothing, burning them, that destroys them, sure, but it just spreads the trioxin gas and creates more of them. It resurrects skeletons, the zombies can talk, they can plan ambushes. To put it simply, you are not beating Return of the Living Dead. That's why they're in the you're f***ed tier, because you're just not winning that. Up next we have State of Decay. Haven't seen it, so I'm going to have to put it in haven't seen or little info. I'm sorry about that, I really wish I knew more about it. Up next, we have the Krusty Burger virus from the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode, Don't Have a Cow Mankind. Now, this one is pretty difficult because they are like the Rage virus from 28 Days Later, and the Simpsons are able to escape, but Bart is somehow immune to the virus, and it ends with them all curing each other by Bart swimming in their food. And Homer does remain a muncher though, because that's what they call the zombies, they call them munchers. Overall though, I think I'm going to have to put them in medium. Sure, they're fast and they're difficult to deal with, but eventually they found a cure by Bart. But I mean, then again, if Bart didn't exist, it'd probably be in the hard tier, so I'm going to compromise and put it at the top of medium. There you go. Up next, we have Plants vs. Zombies. Now, I was not expecting Plants vs. Zombies to be on here, but I think I'm going to have to put this in hard, to put it simply. I think I might put it about there. The reason why is because I don't think any humans are alive except for Crazy Dave. They all died, and the zombies can cramp up. You know, there's waves of them. There's the Gargantuars. Then you've got Dr. Zomboss and all the crazy variants. If you have some plants, though, you can deal with them. But if you didn't have the plants, mate, I think the zombies are going to eat your brains. So yeah, you don't want any zombies on your lawn for sure. Up next, we have #Alive. Now, I'm glad I included this one as well, because I love #Alive. This one is also going... I think this one is going to go in the bottom of Insane tier, because these ones are ridiculous as well. It's like Train to Busan, actually. Yeah, I'm going to put Dying Light there. Well, actually, no, I'm going to put Dying Light ahead of Train to Busan. These two are almost kind of similar. The zombies can run fast, they have levels of intelligence and whatnot, but they were eventually able to use the internet and stuff using #Alive to try and find survivors. But #Alive is brutal, so that's why I'm leaving it in Insane tier. And lastly, we have Dawn of the Dead 2004. Now, this one is a bit interesting because I was actually incorrect. In Dawn of the Dead, it's revealed in Andy's tapes in the DVD extras that the virus was eventually defeated. Well, how long did that take? We have no freaking idea. But all of the points that I made reacting to Watch Mojo's video of ranking zombies still stands. I still think this is insane, so that's where it's going. I'm going to put it below the Rage virus this time, because the Rage virus evolves and has longevity, but Dawn of the Dead was eventually eradicated. So that's why I'm leaving it here. And there you have it, everybody. This is my zombie media ranked tier list, or the zombie outbreaks ranked from least survivable to most survivable, or other way around. Sorry I'm stammering, I do this with no script or anything. I'm having fun, I like talking about this stuff, I like nerding out about what I like. If you guys want to see me do more fun stuff, maybe tier list or top 10 videos, be sure to let me know. But for now, I'm your local Mage Dark, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to let me know where you would rank certain things too, I'm very interested to see the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, my disciples.